Thank you. Gentlemen?
I'm Kamgisha Andrew, a lawyer by profession, and I'm glad to be here.
Welcome, Andrew.
Hello everyone, I'm Jotham Ali Naitwe from Uganda Christian University School of Journalism, Media and Communication, also a climate activist.
Amazing. So I will start with you, Andrew. First of all, the art of speech. Kindly help us understand that.
The art of speech, I would just stem it from, talk about different personalities. If you look at the real description of the art of speech, talk about the figures like Nelson Mandela, Kwame Nkrumah, Martin Luther Jr. The reason why they still sound, the art of speech stems or can be defined by them on how they took themselves while speaking to the people. But to take it or to break it down to the person out there, the art of speech is the ability to communicate and comprehend large amounts of information that can be understood at different scenarios. Let's talk like about funerals, birthday parties. How are you able to correlate? How are you able to capacitate that knowledge to someone there to enjoy what you're speaking? So the art of speech stems to debate, public speaking, speeches. People are paid to speak. You look at MCs, how are they able to command the crowds, and that stems from the ability to control crowds, also having the stage command. So the art of speech stems from what you're speaking, your body language, and also the reaction on how you interact with the crowds that you're speaking to. Okay. That's how I could define it.
Lady, your understanding to the art of speech.
I believe art of speech is more of a means to serving an aim, a means to making a policy, a means to sharing what you think about something. It does not necessarily have to be personal. It has to be concerned with someone else, something that you've seen. So art of speech is it's more of reaching an objective that you want to put out there.
Okay, great. And you?
Yeah, talking about the art of speech, in my opinion, the art of speech comes how best you can convince the audience, the public where you are. Like one of my colleagues earlier said, the Nelson Mandela, the Kwame Nkrumah, they had the art of speech. They were capable to convince the audience so that they can win an objective and they can win a target to them. So I believe that the art of speech currently to the youth, you should have an aim, an objective, so that you can win your goal or you can win your target. You are trying to win the emotions towards the audience, the public you are targeting, so that also you can aim at making a point or an opinion to them. As a climate activist, the art of speech, I feel like it is our goal and it is a collective effort to speak, to convince and win.
Okay, great. I think from all that you're saying, what I get is that the art of speech is basically a way of expressing yourself and being understood. The people you're expressing yourself to, getting exactly what you want to communicate. Starting with you, Andrew, why is it important for anyone to have the art of speech?
Thank you so much. Why is it that important or that crucial thing for someone? There was a very generic question where somewhere in a meeting and someone said, if you met Bill Gates in an elevator, it has 30 to 15 seconds to reach down. What would you tell him in those 30 seconds for him to be convinced to call you next time or to give you his business card? And that stems on how capable you are. Why is it important? One, that the art of speech helps us to communicate to the crowds that we need. Two, it also helps us to command crowds. You cannot be a CEO or you cannot be a leader in any institute when you don't know how to deliver. For example, we have seen most scenarios where MPs are challenged, not because they lack the knowledge, no, they lack the capacity to present what they desire. So the art of speech helps you to communicate. You find some certain scenarios that when someone is speaking, people are making noise, others are distracted. But when another person stands on stage, people pay attention. It's not because they dislike someone, it's because particular people have the capacity or they have learned the art on how to speak, when to speak it, how to speak it, and why they should speak it. Yeah.
Okay, coming to you, how has the art of speech helped you to become a better person?
I'm a recent graduate. I like being heard. I like inspiring people. I like making an impact wherever I am. So of course, with the art of speech and the fact that I have an aim of reaching a crowd, a particular crowd, this has helped me to express myself, express those different ideas that I have. I'm a youth, so of course I have so many ideas, so many opinions. So with speech, I'm able to express all of them. Then I've been able to navigate the different roles that I have.
Yeah.
I'm one person, but does not mean that I only have one role, to be maybe a student, to be this. No, I've been able to express those different roles. Let me say, for example, I'm a good leader. Through speech, I'm able to lead very well. And then I'm a learner. You get? So of course, the different things that I learn, I'm able to express them out to other people.
Yeah.
So the art of speech has really been very vital to me. Yes.
As first of all, a journalism student and also an environment activist, how does the art of speech help you to become what you want to become and better you to serve best your intentions?
Yeah, as a journalism student, at the same time a climate activist, realize we do more of talking. So one thing, you need to first polish yourself. You need to first see the target audience you are going to. Am I going to speak to young kids? Am I going to speak to my fellow youth? Am I going to speak to old people? So you come up with a plan or idea how you are going to flow. Because you realize speech, however good you are in speaking, but without targeting the audience you are going to address. Earlier, as I said, that speaking or communication, it refers to winning the audience. You are trying to put a point outside, or you are trying to win the soul outside, so that they can be in favor of you. Like we be in activism outside there, trying to tell people different campaigns have been on board, but I cannot achieve it when I'm not a good communicator. So you realize that communication is a key in every sector. I want to applaud that different offices these days that have managed to employ PRs. Now journalism has that sector where people are taught communication, because they have realized that it is a key sector, that is a key to win a soul. You come to one office, they send you to a communication personnel. So I feel like this is really a big thing to us youth, that we should prepare ourselves to speak. Like the Nelson Mandelas, they were in their teens, but they were outpointed there because of communication. They had an issue, they had a challenge they wanted to address there. So we need to adapt the communication of skills. To be a good leader, you should have the ability to speak, ability to address a challenge, and ability to win the emotions of people outside there, so that you can win a target.
Andrea, who is a good speaker to you?
A good speaker, I'd like to give an illustration of our president, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. When he's speaking, when you look at how he's a good orator, one, he gives you the background, then he gives you the status quo, the current
The
affairs
background
situation.
that people hate and say he always goes back to the history.
Yes, but it's very, because one, that's why a car has a rear mirror, that it must first depict where you're coming from and where you're heading. Then he says he wants to show you that where we are coming from wasn't that good, but the current status is not that good that we should appreciate, but we are trying to implement that. So whereas someone is looking at the current status saying it's bad, he says, look here, when you're saying it's bad, there are times that they were very worse. So a good communicator or a good orator must have the capability, one, to first listen, because there is a word that is one, but I always tell people that listen and silent use the same letters. Before you listen to the voices of the people, you must be silent. After being silent to them, then you understand that, hey, this crowd is facing a challenge of, let's say, bad roads, or we are facing a challenge of, let's say, for example, climate, saying that we are activating for this issue, or we are looking for this issue to have a proper environment. Then after understanding, how do you compose or how do you package your message? Then, which target audience? Because a good orator must look at the audience. You will not speak hard English before nursery kids. So one, you must study your audience. Two, you must understand the needs of your society. Three, you must also understand what kind of language does your audience understand. The problem why corporate companies do not have good orators is that they speak a lot of English before people who don't know the English. You must know, if I'm going to local people, which language do they understand best? Then if I'm going to people of ghetto, should I speak corporate or should I say story chiwagwan? So we must understand who are we communicating to and what kind of part of information can we package for them. And at the end of the day, we must come with a resolution. The bad orators they just argue and disagree and don't have a conclusion. At the end of the day, when you're speaking, come up with a message of hope, come up with a conclusion and see how best you can arrive to, because we also need what we call take-home points. When you're finished speaking, what are you going to start with when you are going to speak?
Okay. Coming to you. First of all, what makes a good speaker? Because, for example, we have both gone to a very good school. As people say, you do speak good English, accent, Karunji, gundi information, oina, everything. So what makes one different from the other? If we can all speak English, we can understand English, what makes you outstand from the crowd and say you're a good orator? Like they were mentioning a number of names of people who did outstand in as far as becoming good speakers.
Thank you very much. As my colleague has said, a good orator has to listen. You want to speak, you want to share something, but you do not know what you're even talking about because you have not listened.
Yeah.
You have not listened to why this particular thing is happening. You're not listening to why this particular person is saying this. You're not looking at the background at which the person has. Yes. So
These days, they say temuina chemutugamba, so they are not willing to listen to anything.
they are not willing to listen. But if you take a closer look and understand the point of view at which this person is coming from, it will help you. So what I'm saying, a good orator has to be a good listener.
First of all, I want to understand if I'm to become a good speaker, what do I need to do? And to make it a little bit more simple, if I want to communicate and be understood, how do I need to speak? And then you help us to understand why speaking or speech is an art.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, before you come out to say something, you need to first make research about it. If I'm going to address people about Ebola, if I'm going to address people about HIV, if I'm going to address people about climate,
Or even when you're an MC
oh yeah,
at a function,
you need to first do some small background to the people you're going to work to. Or
Know
to
the
function.
audience.
Yeah, know the audience. Or even take a time, ask these people you're going to aim the function you're going to, ask them a small background of their relationship. Don't bore out people there outside. After understanding, now look the target audience you are going to. Am I going to address young students, secondary students, university students, or am I going to address public corporate people? So after understanding that, come to a conclusion of the words, of the art. You realize in most cases, one of the words you say, "Tebaina cheba tugamba," comes out when you keep on talking things without action. I'll refer to myself.
Yeah.
We climate activists, for example, are saying tuve kavera, avoid dropping bottles.
Yes.
But if a person has seen you on a national TV like this, advocating for that, and tomorrow bypasses you outside or you in a car, you are the person dropping kavera somewhere, and tomorrow,
they will say toina chotugamba.
yeah, and tomorrow you come on a public TV and you say, ladies and gentlemen outside there, please tuve kavera. A
Yeah.
person will say toina chotugamba. So in most cases, when you are going to speak something, first do your background checkup. Am I going to say this? Am I going to say this? How am I going to be judged? Edit your script, then come out with the best concept you are going to address to the people.
Yeah.
I think that addresses the question, how can you be a best speaker? Now, on the question you asked me about the ways of being a good speaker, it lies to us. I don't think that leaders are born.
They are made.
They are made. So people do rehearsals outside there. One of my friends has told us here that His Excellency, he will first do the background research about something. Then he will come and tell you the cause, the reason, the why, and where we are going. Trust me, a person is going to give you an ear when you are addressing such a cause. Yeah.
Okay, Andrea, You see, we are talking about speech and stuff, but there is one person who is going to come on stage. Before saying even a word, the crowd is already up, clapping and happy. And this person who is going to come and talk, and just people will keep looking at them. What brings about that?
It stems back to what we call character. If you look at comedians like Salvador, if you look at people like Teacher Pamela who imitates people. they are-
As you're explaining that, sorry to cut you short, I want you to help us understand why it is an art to speak. Because if someone can be able to communicate without uttering out a word, then probably there is an art they are using. So as you're explaining, help us to also understand that.
You see, art as a word does not move individually. Art also moves with creativity. Oh, you cannot say that I'm doing an art, or because art for its own itself, you must be creative. There is what we call speaking and not speaking. Yes, the body language. You see, when I was giving an introduction about art, this also goes back to the body language. Someone can come on board, but the dress code is communicating. Yes, we have seen people who come for interviews. Even before the interview, they say, "Are you fine?" Because someone thinks that the way you've come dressed, you
Yes.
seem not to be fine. And there are those who come onto stage because of their noble profession. They are comedians. The dress code seems like, if you look at mariachi, he comes stacking in, the stomach is listens. You know, he's already fine even before
Yeah.
people they start speaking. So at the end of the day, why we call it an art is how creative you are. If you're saying you're in a sorrow state, why would you start laughing on a barrio? Yes? If you're speaking to large numbers of people, what tone are you using? Good morning, people. What tone? If you're communicating, communicate. If you look at the way people communicate while they are delivering orders, it's not how a soldier would say, "Look here." No, you won't say. They command with respect and language. So at the end of the day, when you're communicating, one, observe what tone are you using. Two, where are you appearing? You want to go for a corporate organization or an event with sneaker or with funny shoes.
With damaged jeans.
Yes. At the end of the day, you're going to, for example, if you look at old people, they have affiliations that they don't feel like they're comfortable with.
All right.
You come, these days we are in a .com where you find people are putting on skippy stuff, you know, and they're like, what is he going to deliver? Or what is he going to deliver? So at the end of the day, one, a good orator must also prep. I'm not meaning that you should go and look for encyclopedias, but make research and analyze what you're going to do.
Be informed.
Be informed. Then don't overread a lot. The reason why we find we are not creative, we overread, and we are moving on a script.
Sound too academic.
Too academic. If you're coming, just know I'm coming to a wedding of Karen and Jotham. Okay, how can I interject? You know, I always appreciate my former lecturer, Professor Kasozi. During his lecture, he used not to overpurpose with notes. He used to have icebreakers, you know. Students must not be in a lecture room as if they are dying tomorrow. Try to give them current affairs, see what their mind is, so as that their minds are awakened. Same applies to a good orator. They should have, during those meetings, put some interludes so as to awaken their mind. So a good orator must have a good researched speech, but he must not make it look academic, and it must be often. Don't come and read for us. No. Have some things aside and then speak from your mind.
Okay. Can we be able to make money out of speaking?
Of course.
How?
Like you are.
Okay.
Yes.
How am I making money out of that? The person.
The
watching
art,
would like
the
to
art you're
understand.
having right now.
Okay.
Of course, speaking is not necessarily that you have to script what you want. No, speaking is expressing yourself, giving out a point of view. Let me say, for example, the career guidance panel. Let me say, okay, people who come and give us career guidance, they know how to speak. They know what they're going to speak. They know to whom they're going to speak and why, and what benefit that person is going to get from speaking. So of course, when I come and I'm a career guidance counselor or what, and I'm going to a particular place, at the end of the day, I'm going to have pay because I've done something impactful to the person, right? And then of course, it helps in envisioning. Speaking helps you to envision where you want to be. When you envision where you want to be, you're going to be able to, maybe if you're having a business plan and you go, let me say, for pitching, the fact that you have the good art of speaking, you're going to be able to pitch your ideas to be bold. And at the end of the day, we all want our ideas to be bold. We all want to be heard. We all want to have an impact where we're going. So in other words, speaking is what you're doing and how you're getting and how you're earning.
Okay.
We all need to learn this because it's very, very important. Yes.
So this one goes to you, and it will also go to Ndelea. First of all, if for example, I'm a good speaker, I have the art of speech, as we've been saying, how does the art of speech that I do have help to build my profile, but also my confidence? First to you, and then next to Andrew.
Thank you so much. I want to applaud you because you have given us space. We are here because of communication. First of all, also to come here, someone identifies you and say, that person is a good communicator. That's one thing. I want to share with you a story. One of my friends right now is at UNDP. They were attending a conference and they were calling out youth to give out ideas or ask questions like a panel discussion. This young, vibrant lady stands up and asks, like, you people, you are calling us here to address issues of youth, but the whole panel is full of old ladies. Old ladies and old gentlemen.
Yeah.
Then which issues are we addressing to? Yet we are the same people oppressed here. We are the same people to address our challenges, and they need to be capped up very fast. And by that time, Rose Malango, she was the country representative. She was like, I see a great speaker. Then she has a job right now in UNDP.
Wow.
So that is the best way of communication outside there, that it gives us opportunity, it gives us opportunity. The more you speak, the more you address issues outside there, people will notice you. People will call you to different institutions, to address challenges, but also to inspire others by how you do it and how others can become like you. Yeah, I feel like it is a platform that people shouldn't shy out. Speak, don't fear the outcome, but speak till you are heard outside there.
I think I'd like to appreciate Jotham giving that example. But borrowing from my personal experience, when you're a good speaker, trust me, you'll be identified, especially to different platforms. We have traveled all over this country over and over, being outside and inside because of speech. People have paid us to visit their institutions just because of the power of speech. And I had forgotten to mention this. If you're a speaker, you must also be good at analyzing issues and writing them down. We have written for different organizations concept notes on which people see in media, but of course when you sign a non-disclosure agreement, you cannot claim that it's yours. But it's because of the good analytical skills that we are eating on. Even though besides me being a lawyer or something else, these are skills that I would live to test for. You go to a business company and you pitch your idea, and people are inquisitive to listen because of the communication skills you can. So I believe on a profile basis of a good of speech, if you're a good speaker, one is that you're ready to be for the market, and when you add on your personal skill vis-a-vis the career, then you're good to go because you know what to do, when to do it, why you should do it, and then how to convince people why you're the best candidate for that particular project. So I think at the end of the day, speech is a major factor and a contribution to the career growth and mentorship for any other individual in their growth stages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Bebe Cool singing and saying, Kaba kamwako. Whatever you say with your mouth is going to, at most times, show who you are. And they say garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't empower yourself, if you don't inform yourself with enough data, you cannot be able to analyze anything unless you have notes to compare and say, this is the truth, this is what is right, and this is what I need to put out there. And therefore, to become a good speaker, you have to be empowered with information. And basically, you need to also have enough training if you're to become a good speaker. Know how to express yourself. That's to do with your body language, what he was talking about. And that's what makes it an art, basically. Otherwise, all of us can speak. All of us can speak, and what makes the difference is the art that we do put in. So as we conclude, I would like to give an opportunity to both of you to give your message to the young people out there in how on how they can be able to build their art of speech and earn from it?
Just in a nutshell, because I must summarize. One is that when you're speaking, know when to speak, why you should speak it, make research, study your audience. At the end of the day, market yourself. Go to these platforms.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. My fellow youth outside there, this is a call for you. Opportunities are there. Opportunities are looking for you. They are looking for good communicators outside there. Go grab for them. These opportunities are not going to find you watching movies, are not going to find you in the bar, are not going to find you where you are cocooning. You will be like us here.
The only thing I have to say is stand up, strive, and know what you want. Know yourself, love God, and connect yourself with people who will motivate and build you. Thank you very much.
Okay, cheers to you guys. Thank you so much for sparing time to speak to Youth of Purpose. This is a platform for you. And whenever we call upon you to come and talk to us, please endeavor to honor our invitation. I thank you so much for watching this show and sparing your time to listen and watch us. I do believe you have been able to learn something from today's edition. Empower yourself as young people, such that when you speak, people see life. We are very good, or some of us are very good. They can speak, they have, equipped themselves with very good language to use in a bad way to abuse. The way you can, bend those words to abuse people and be praised for that. Actually, there are people who praise their colleagues for being good at abusing. How about you use that good speech, the art of speech that you have, for the better, to speak life to your fellows? I thank you so much for watching this show. My name is Ivan Tumukunde. Follow me on my socials, I_Tumukunde on Twitter, Tumukunde on Facebook, Ivan Tumukunde on LinkedIn. I thank you so much for watching this show. See you next time.
Youth of Purpose. UBC, inspiring Uganda.